Firebird Trans Am. I mean, everything about this car says late 70s. The steering wheel looks like a video game out of Atari. The stick shift is actually really loose, and the clutch is really tight. It's definitely not an easy drive. This Trans Am has the WS6 package, which has a wider wheelbase, better transmission, and better brakes. You know, with the rear posi traction, you gotta be careful when you go around those turns. The tires kick out on you. Even on dry pavement, you really can lose control of the car. Nice smooth pickup when you give it gas. Not a huge amount of torque. You know, this car could be a good way to get into the collector car world. You know, it's something that does stand out. It stands the test of time. Everybody knows what it is. There's always going to be a market for it because of the nostalgia that goes along with it. So it's a great car to buy if you're just getting into the collector car market. The instrument panel is actually a little bit hard to read. The numbers are kind of small. The speedometer actually is pretty accessible, but everything else doesn't seem very user-friendly. One of my favorite things about it, though, is it does have an 8-track cassette. Maybe listen to some John Denver, take off the T-tops, grow your hair out and back, and have fun. 1979 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am with the big V8 engine in it, and I love the color combination. I feel like they were trying to say, this is what we think cars are going to look like in the future.
I think the seat coloring is what they thought spacesuits were going to look like in the future. Look at that shiny silver.
Tell us a little bit about this car.
I have a fondness for nearly all the Trans Ams, starting from 1969. Drove them in college, went through about 13 Firebirds in my time. And so I've always loved the cars, and I actually think the cars are coming back now, something that my brother and I predicted 3 years ago, so we started buying Trans Ams. I went after the 10th anniversary version because of the limited production, but I actually do like the paint scheme on it as well.
Looking at it as a survivor, there are some nicks in the paint and scratches, which is to be expected. Some of the panel fit issues, especially on the back spoiler. Also some scratches on top here, the T-top area of it. Overall, though, the condition, as a survivor, it sits as a 3.
I think these cars may be coming back a little bit, but they've been kind of out of favor for quite a while, which is why I bet you got some pretty good deals on the ones that you snapped up.
And they made a lot of them.
And they made a lot, so collectability is going to be a D.
All right, so with all of that taken into account, how much do you think it's going to go for at auction?
Well, on the top side, I hope it brings 45.
My number is lower than that. I'm at 35 because I think that there may be renewed interest. I've seen it for the Super Duty cars and things like that. I haven't seen it trickle down to the 10th anniversary cars yet.
So that sounds okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You bet.
I get 15 to start it, now 20,000. I get 15 bid, out of it 20,000. 15 bid, out of it 20, now 20. 17 5 minutes, 17 5, then now 20. I'm gonna be 17 5, gonna be 20, 0, out of it 20, now 20, 20, bid, 20, J, 20 bid, 22 5. 20 bid, 22 5. 20,000 bid, out of it 22 5. That's 20,000 bid, out of it 22 5. How about 21,000? 20 bid, out of it 21. I get 20 bid, 21, 22. 21, 22, J, out of it 22, 23. 22 bid, out of it 23. 22, 23,000. 22, 23. I get 22 bid, out of it 23,000. How about 22 5? 22 5. Get your bids in. 22 bid, out of it 22 5. 22,000 bid, out of it 22,000. $500 shade, out of it 22 5. Going once. 22 bid, out of it 22 5. Hands high. 22 5. 22 bid, out of it 22 5. Twice. All those bids. 22,500. Closing at $22,000. We're pretty close.
Dale's Trans Am didn't sell when the hammer dropped, but Auctions America sealed the deal after the block, selling it for $26 grand. Tony from Nebraska sent us photos and a description.